MashaAllah, Bismillah. Okay.
Welcome back
More
to your own
questions,
show.
man. More questions.
Welcome back to your show.
Yeah. Okay, similar question. Okay. Again, what advice would you render your younger self, knowing what you know now, and experience at this time in regards to setting goals and ambition?
I would
I'm
not.
sorry, from ages to 13, let's say 14 to 20s. Let's break it down.
I would have really done everything I needed to do to communicate to my parents, in particular my father, as to what my interests are and what I'm actually talented at, instead of trying to achieve the things that might take me towards the directions of what was presented to us as the path we should be taking. See, this thing can cause a massive disruption in a person's life and a huge confusion in a young person.
Yeah.
To proactively go after a goal that you doesn't really resonate with you, and you leave aside your passion, you leave aside what you would have been enthusiastic about to fit a description which isn't naturally occurring to your personality, to your character, to your ability. So personal experience, I'm even thinking about it now and it's upsetting me, is that our parents who raised us in the generation when I went to secondary school, which is a very key moment in life for getting to know and witness the development of a child into a young person. I had the energy to be in the performing art more than typical academic subjects. I was generally good at all the subjects I was studying. But if all of that could have been utilized into the one subject that I was really talented in and really loved, imagine like when you get to like year 9 in school, when if you're a little bit wayward or a little bit naughty or you have a little bit of a funny group of friends, you start truanting and stuff like that for some people. Yeah. Imagine a person who, even whilst truanting and doing things that people find fun and enjoyable, in that time and during that time, they would leave all of that to return to school to go to one particular subject. How much connection they would have felt to that thing. So I had that kind of a passion about performing arts. I loved it so much that when normal school would bore me and I would leave and truant and whatever, the days when I would have had that lesson, even if I was truanting, I would return for that lesson only. Could you imagine? So if that was identified by an elder or a guardian or a parent, and then they harnessed that and they channeled it in the right way and found, extracurricular classes, after school clubs, or you don't have to take your GCSEs and then go on to follow the normal routine set out by the government or the expectation of your community, that someone came out and said, I'm turning my child into a doctor or this or that. And you thought, yeah, that guy's popular and he's cool and he's sending his children to doctor, and you just follow a fashion or a trend that is completely unrelated to your child's skill sets or talent. And then you impose the importance of following that kind of thing. And then this person being under pressure just really forgets what they wanted to do and replaced it with what they felt like they needed to do. So
what about from ages to 20 to 30?
It would have been an opportunity to try to revisit some passions and stuff like that. But by that time, life could have taken so many turns that going back would be almost impossible.
So what advice would you give to you there?
So my advice would have been to really know a person when you help them make their choices, instead of treating it as something trivial or something small, because that's going to shape the rest of their lives. That's a very key moment in life where you haven't arrived at making a permanent choice for your goal setting or career plans, but it would definitely lead you up to the door of that thing. From that point, it will take you towards the direction at least. So
what about 30 to 40? I mean, yeah, I know you're still young.
For goal setting at 30 to 40.
Yeah, ambitions. How would that be different to the different ages?
I would say if a person feels unfulfilled in something from their youth and they recollect it so deeply, then maybe this is even going down the road of trauma and having a mental impact on them. So if they are some way, somehow better off in their lives by then, maybe explore the possibility of fulfilling that thing that was left as a void.
So would the ambition, targets, or passion be the same?
Well, if it's to win you, like for me, it still occurs in me, this feeling that I wanted to do something of a performing arts career. And my life and my choices didn't get me anywhere near that. And now, even those things that I replaced my passion with, I didn't even get to achieve those things. So it's been a failure on top of a failure in that sense. So if I could rectify one of the failures and then maybe go back to my passion, it would be great.
Okay, so that's a different question. What's stopping you from achieving that now?
What's stopping me from achieving that now is that the burdens of adult life,
let's just say responsibilities.
No, these are burdens because there's an age up to which you can dismiss these things or you can revisit these things. But there's a certain point, it will make or break you. There's a certain age you can get to where it will break you if you don't, live up to it. Like for example, I don't live on my parents' finance. I live on my own. So now if I don't earn my finance, I'll be devastated.
So how would you pursue your passion if you haven't achieved it?
So now,
whilst in that position.
So now I'm in a position where I will try to I can't say achieve. I will try to set things up in such a way where I can free up some time and not be so burdened. To then allocate this time and this energy to trying to retrace some steps and fix those to fulfill that void. Because then no amount of success in something else can still fill that void. So I will try to do anything I can to revisit that possibility. So I'll give you an example. I was very passionate about the film industry. Drama, acting, performing arts, not any particular type, but for us being born and raised in the UK in London, something of that type was of interest to me and it never ever left me. The whole film industry per se. And film industry shouldn't just generally ring a negative tone. Through the film industry, a lot of expressions can be made, a lot of ideas can be given, a lot of goals can be achieved. Because of people contextualizing it with rules and laws and beliefs and stuff like that, it is almost always negative. Not necessarily the case. There's a lot of things you can teach the world through film.
Amazing, mashallah. Jazakallah khair.